If you're over the age of 50 and feel like your legs are getting weaker, you're not alone. Age-related muscle loss, or sarcopenia, can start as young as age 30, but then it accelerates rapidly after the age of 65. Now, as a physical therapist, I've noticed that by the time that people develop clinical problems, such as pain or lack of mobility, they're usually not weak all over their body. It's usually isolated muscle groups, and it's not always the same on the left side of the body and the right side of the body. Now, if weakness was due to age alone, you'd expect everything to decline equally. And that's good news because it means you have control over whether or not you'll get weak. In this video, I'll help you isolate your areas of weakness, plus show you what to do to bring up those weaknesses so you can stay strong, active, mobile, and free of pain. So let's get started. The first test is a one-legged sit to stand. This challenges your quads, your glutes, as well as your balance. Try it on each side and see if you're able to do it. Now, many people do struggle with just standing up from a chair with two legs. So if this is too difficult for you, I'll show modifications in a second. Number one, if you just have balance issues and can't control your balance, it is okay to rest your heel lightly on the floor so you're not pushing through this leg, and then you just challenge the strength. Without needing the added balance, then check the same thing on the other side and see if you're able to do it there. Now, if you're still unable, you can do it from a higher surface, such as a bed or a higher chair, or build up your chair using a pillow, and the higher up you start, the easier it becomes. So try it from a higher surface and see if you're able to stand up either with leg support or without leg support. And then once you find a height that you can stand up using one leg, practice doing that as an exercise. So you'll put one leg out in front of you, then the other one, and then just practice standing up and down, first doing it with your leg on the ground, a little bit easier, and then doing it without your other leg on the ground, which challenges your balance a little bit more. When that becomes easy, then you can get rid of the pillow, move down to a lower chair, and then practice standing up with one leg. Again, heel on the ground for support, or heel off the ground for a greater challenge. Now, that one's pretty difficult. If you do have trouble with it, stay tuned to the end because I'll have some more tips for you in a different video. The next exercise will be for your calves. And to do this, we're going to do a one-legged heel raise. So you'll stand facing towards the wall like this, and then go up and down on one leg, go up as high as you can, and do it until you get tired. Now, the textbook normal for a young, healthy person is being able to do it 25 times, but do it until your one leg gets tired, and then switch to the other leg. Then repeat and see if you're able to do the same number. If you are, notice if it's any easier or any harder on the second leg than it was on the first leg. And then if you do notice weakness, the test becomes the exercise. So just do single leg heel raises to build up to where you're equal on both sides. Now, if you can't do a single leg heel raise, if you feel like you just can't get your foot off the ground, that is a greater indication of weakness. But you can build up from there by starting on two legs and then coming down on one. Go up on two, go down on one. Go up on two, go down on one, and so on and so forth. However, if you can't do it a single time, I would make sure to rule out a lower back problem because that can be indicative of a pinched S1 nerve root in your lower back. The next exercise is one of my favorites and one of the most vital ones for seniors. And that's just standing on one leg and trying to balance there for 10 seconds. Being able to balance on one leg for 10 seconds or longer without holding on cuts your 10-year mortality rate in half. It means you're half as likely to die in the next 10 years as someone who's not able to do this. Additionally, this helps prevent falls and strengthens the hip abductors, or the muscles on the outside of your hips. So that's the third test. The next one will be another balance exercise, For this one, you may want to have something to hold on to. The test itself will be bending down like this. It's a golfer's bend or a single leg deadlift, and then coming back up. Now this works on your glute strength and your hamstring strength, but it does challenge your balance as well. If you can't do that without holding on, it is okay to touch onto something lightly and go up and down and see how many of those you can do on one leg comfortably until you get tired, and then switch legs and do the other leg. Again, seeing how many times you can do comfortably until you get tired. Now, once you master the task holding on, then you can try to let go and start working on bending down, but make sure to keep safety in mind. First, don't put yourself at a risk of falling while doing this exercise. Now, the last test is also very important, and this is to help with getting up from the floor. And that's just doing a lunge all the way down to the floor, touching your knee, and then pushing back up without using hands ideally. Again, if you don't have the balance to do that, if you feel too wobbly, hold on to something and go down and come back up and see if you can touch your knee doing that. If you can do it, check and see how many times you're able to do it on one leg until you start to get tired, and then switch legs and see how many times you're able to do it on the other leg until you get tired. And again, if you can't go all the way down or you notice a difference from side to side, the test becomes the exercise. If you can't get all the way down to the floor and back up, you can start by doing a partial lunge. So stagger your feet like this, hold on to something for balance. Just go down as far as you can comfortably without causing any pain in the front knee or the back knee, and then come back up. And then repeat that for about 10 repetitions or however many you can do comfortably. Take note that if you keep your weight more through your heel, that's going to work the glutes a little bit more. It'll also be less likely to cause knee pain if you keep your shin relatively vertical and push through the heel rather than pushing through the toes like that. So those were the tests and exercises. If you feel like those were too easy for you, check out this video over here with weights. And if you felt like you struggled with a lot of the exercises, check out this other video down here. But before you go, if you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you can get notified of our future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.